All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er Cowboy preview. And of course, we're brought to you by Mojo Fantasy. Mojo Fantasy is the newest and best daily fantasy app. You can get a full selection of real sportsbook props with live odds, including props that you won't find anywhere else, player props, and you can ride your picks, cash them out, make new picks all game long. And the best part, you don't have to get all your picks right to win. That's right. Try a free contest and win real cash prizes up to 25 times your money. Make picks, make moves, make money. Use the link in the description and use the promo code Krug to get your first deposit matched up to $100. All right, these are my picks this week, guys. I'm going Christian McCaffrey with an anytime touchdown. I'm going Tony Pollard under 57.5 rushing yards. Dak Prescott under 246.5 passing yards. Brock Purdy over 1.5 passing touchdowns. And Brock Purdy over 246.5 passing yards. Once again, mojofantasy.com. Make sure you use that promo code Krug, K-R-U-E-G, and get your first deposit matched up to $100. All right, let's talk a little bit about Niners and Cowboys, and this is going to be a hell of a matchup. And let's start right with Brock Purdy. Against the Cardinals, Brock Purdy was amazing. 20 of 21, 283 yards and a touchdown. He added a rushing touchdown. He completed 95%, the best by any passer in franchise history. The fourth best completion percentage by any quarterback with a minimum of 20 attempts in NFL history. He had the league's best QBR from the pocket last year in 2022 at 74.9. But man, Purdy has improved from last year. He's improved his timing. He's getting the ball out faster. 2.84 seconds last year, 29th in the NFL. 2.56 seconds this year, tied for 6th. And he's pushing the ball further down the field. 7.2 air yards per attempt, up 0.2 from last year, and he's getting bigger plays, 9.1 yards per attempt. That's up from 8.4 a year ago. So 48.2% of Purdy's pass attempts have gained first downs or touchdowns. That's the highest percentage in the entire league. And he's starting to actually make the throws down the field. He had been 0 for 3 on throws traveling over 30-plus air yards in games 1, 2, and 3. But against the Cardinals, he went 2 for 2. For 76 yards on such throws. So enter the Cowboy defense. And the Cowboy defense held Purdy to a 55.2 QBR in the playoffs last year. That was his second worst output in any game that he started and finished. And Dallas might even be better defensively this year. They're first in the NFL in points allowed per game. Dallas only gives up 10.3 a game. They're second in sacks per dropback at 10.4%. They're third in opponents' QBR allowed at 35.9. So this is going to be a monumental challenge for the 49ers. You know it is. Now, one of the big stories of the week was Randy Gregory, and I don't think Gregory's going to go, but you never know. The Niners sent a 6th-round pick to the Broncos for Gregory and a 7th in the upcoming draft. So Denver's paying the remaining $10.9 million on his deal. 49ers are only paying the $840,000 veteran minimum. He's got 3 years left on his contract for $42 million, but none of that money's guaranteed. So if the Niners want to walk away at the end of the year, they can. Gregory has passed his physical. The Niners did make a corresponding move, and that was to say goodbye to Kerry Hyder, who led the Niners in sacks in 2020, a valuable veteran influence. But, really the Niners have, outside of Nick Bosa, have not hit the quarterback enough from the defensive end spot. Jackson, Farrell, and Hyder had only 8 combined quarterback hits and 243 pass rush snaps, and that's why Gregory was needed. Now, Gregory himself has 4 quarterback hits and 73 pass rush snaps, so that's really why the Niners made the trade. Gregory had 6 sacks on a very good Cowboy defensive line in 2021. He has been suspended 4 times due to violations of the NFL's substance abuse policy. But the Niners wanted this player, and they've gotten good reports on him. They're getting good pressure inside. Javon Hargrave's got 3 sacks and 17 pressures. As I mentioned, Bosa leads the team with 20 pressures off the edge. Armstead's got 11. Kinlaw's got 12. So they just weren't getting a lot out of Hyder, Jackson, or Farrell. and they needed to add somebody to the mix. Now, one injury note going into this Dallas game, the Niners roll in almost 100% healthy. Elijah Mitchell's out with a knee injury. John Feliciano is out with a concussion injury. Other than that, the 49ers enter this game remarkably healthy, and it should be really interesting to see how this game is played. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the key factors. I think the right side of the 49er offensive line is going to be key. Spencer Burford had his best game of the season Sunday against Arizona. Cowboys' defensive line is very fast, and they do a lot of stunting. Burford's going to be under a lot of pressure. Colton McKivitz was going to be tasked with slowing down the edge rushers, DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons, and it may be the best combo going right now. Parsons will also move around. He's all over the formation. They used him in 6 different spots last year. They'll run him in the A-gap. They'll run him on the right side, on the left side. They'll play him as a stacked backer. He's really a very versatile player. Now, I think this is going to be a huge moment for Nick Bosa. Bosa is the highest graded edge defender in the NFL, period. And Tyron Smith is iffy at best health-wise. And if he can't go, then it's Chuma Adoga and Terrence Steele. And you got Bosa, who's got 20 pressures, 9 quarterback hits, 10 hurries. The key number is only 1 sack. But Dak Prescott is a guy who is a totally different player if he's pressured. His completion percentage when he's not pressured, 75%. His completion percentage drops to 59.4% when he is under pressure. In a lot of ways, Nick Bosa could be the most important player in this game. If it's not Nick Bosa, it could be Isaiah Oliver, who's going to be in the slot, and most likely he's going to see a lot of Ceedee Lamb. Now, Lamb runs 72.4% of his routes out of the slot this year. Oliver's coverage grade sits at 67.9, 4th best on the Niners. He's allowed 15 catches on 20 targets, 6.1 yards per reception. The key here is avoid the explosives. And then if you look at Dallas defensively, if there is a weakness to their incredible defense, it's their pass coverage in the middle of the field. Of course, they're not strong against the run either. We'll get to that. But they really struggle in the middle of the field. And so I think George Kittle could be a key factor in this one for the 49ers. I could see Kittle going off and having a big performance for the Niners. Now, a couple other angles on this game that I think have to be mentioned. This is a Cowboy team that has the 4th best scoring offense in the league. They score 31 a game, and they give up 10 a game. So that means they've got a great point differential, 2nd in the league only to Buffalo. Offensively, Dallas averages 360 per game. That's 11th in the NFL. Prescott's 5.4 air yards per attempt is significantly lower than his mark last year. And it really comes down to the Cowboys changing what they do offensively because they change coordinators. Kellen Moore is out. Brian Schottenheimer is in. And with that, their approach has really changed. There's been an increased effort on getting the ball out quicker and avoiding negative plays and avoiding hits on Dak Prescott. And Prescott has improved his time to throw from a league average 2.72 last year to 2.49 this year, which ranks 4th in the NFL. The big key in this game for the 49ers is going to be tackling in space and 3rd down conversions. The Cowboys boast a league best 51.6 3rd down conversion rate on offense this year. And they've got explosive talent. You want to make sure that you wrap up against them, and the Niners have to win on 3rd down. Now, this Cowboy defense gets by on, they don't stop the run. They're 17th in the league against the run, 26th worst if you look at yards per carry. Their run D has been susceptible. Arizona gashed them for 200 yards. So I would imagine the Niners' game plan is to run the ball. But the Cowboys' defense leads the league with 2.3 average turnover margin a game. They have the 2nd best sack percentage in the league, led by Parsons, 4 sacks, and they pick off the ball. So absolutely handling Dallas's pressure and avoiding turnovers is really the key. Now, through 4 games, the Niners have done really good against turnovers. They've yet to lose the turnover battle. In fact, 49ers through 4 games have lost just 1 fumble. The Niner D has forced 4 takeaways, so the Niners have the 6th best turnover margin. But the Niners' offense has not turned it over. And so if that trend continues, that will bode well very much for the Niners. Now, is it going to be a high-scoring game or a low-scoring game? Well, these are explosive offensive teams, but it may be a little lower scoring than we think. Why? Well, both of these teams run the ball at a very high rate. Niners rank second in the NFL. They run it almost 53% of the time. Cowboys are fifth. They run it 49% of the time. Niners are averaging 153 yards per game on the ground, third best in the league. 4.6 a carry, that's seventh best in the league. For Dallas, Tony Pollard has become their bell cow back. Zeke's in New England. It's a one running back team, and Dallas has run for 141 yards per game. That's seventh in the NFL. So, stopping Tony Pollard is going to be absolutely essential. Last year in the playoffs, Jimmy Ward took him out and ended his day early. Otherwise, that game could have looked a whole lot different than it actually did. So, when you look at Dallas, their run game looks good, but then you look at the efficiency, and it's not quite there. They only run for 4.1 per attempt. That's the bottom half of the league. So, to me, this game is going to really hinge on Dallas's defense's ability to pressure Brock Purdy and take the ball away. Dallas leads the league with 10 takeaways. The Niners have only one giveaway. If you go back to last year's Niner-Cowboy game in the divisional round, Niners won largely because they didn't turn it over. They were +1 in turnover margin. And Purdy has been very, very good. He's yet to have a pass picked. He's not had a pass intercepted in the past 5 regular season games. He's coming off a game where he had just one incompletion. So if there is a guy to avoid in that Cowboys secondary, it's Deron Bland, who's coming off a 2-interception game, including one that they took back for a touchdown. Cowboys have 7 picks on the year. Only Buffalo has more. So at some point, Purdy, is going to throw an interception. I'd say it's going to be in this game. But you never know. If he can take care of the football, that's obviously going to be a huge, huge thing for the 49ers. The other interesting aspect on this is that Brock Purdy has done really, really well against man-to-man coverage. He ranks in the top 3 in the league in QBR against man-to-man, yards per attempt against man-to-man, touchdown to interception ratio against man-to-man. And now he gets a Cowboy defense that's played man-to-man coverage at the highest rate in the league since the start of last year. So I think that's going to be a really, really interesting thing. What does Dallas try to do to fool Brock Purdy? I think they're going to show him some looks pre-snap and then rotate out of those looks into a different look after the snap. As I said, Niners have 1 takeaway. Dallas has one giveaway. Dallas has 10 takeaways. Something's got to give between the Niners and the Cowboys on that front. Either the Niners are going to be able to take care of the ball or they're going to struggle to take care of the ball. We're going to find out. So the other key in this game is Christian McCaffrey. Dallas can't stop the run. McCaffrey leads the NFL in carries, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns. He's got 98 touches for 600 all-purpose yards, 7 total touchdowns through 4 games. That leads the league. He's on pace for over 2,500 yards from scrimmage. So, that the McCaffrey advantage is very real for the 49ers. And can the Niners dominate in the run game? And if they can, that's going to be a good thing. Why? Because Colton McKivitz is going to struggle in this game. McKivitz has been really good as a run blocker. In fact, the Niners are averaging 4.7 yards per carry behind McKivitz. But as a pass blocker, McKivitz, out of 137 offensive linemen who've played at least 100 snaps, McKivitz's adjusted blown block percentage against the pass ranks him 132nd. And now here comes Parsons. And Parsons is no picnic because, one, he's been doubled at 29% of the time. He can overpower you. He can run by you. He's got unbelievable acceleration. He's got a motor. He's literally played every spot on the front line. The majority of the time he rushes over the left tackle. He's got 86 snaps as an edge rusher on the right side. He's got 62 snaps on the left side. When the Niners beat the Cowboys last year, Parsons actually lined up at 6 different spots, but he actually wound up playing 12 more snaps against Trent Williams than against Mike McGlinchey. So where we're going to see Parsons is anybody's guess. McKivitz has gotten better since week 1. He hasn't had multiple blown blocks in a game since week 1. And, what's going to be interesting here as well is Kyle Shanahan has left his offensive line on an island all season long. Kittle's only had 15 snaps all year as a pass blocker. about 3 a game. Juszczyk has only 4 snaps in pass protection, only 13 for CMC. So Shanahan's counter is to put that fifth eligible in the route, make defenses defend the entire field, and lean on his second-year quarterback to get the ball out quick. And Brock's been getting the ball out at the 4th fastest rate in the league, and he's best when he gets it out in under 2.5 seconds. So to me, this is a major, major deal for the Niners. Why? Because the one thing about Dallas, they got 6 different guys, actually 7 different guys that have at least 6 pressures. Parsons, Lawrence, Armstrong, Osa, Fowler, Sam Williams, and Golston. Dallas leads the league in pass rush win rate, and they've got 6 pressures from all 7 of those guys. And they blitz at the 9th highest rate, so they get Lawrence and Parsons in some one-on-ones. So this is going to be interesting. Purdy, as I said, his average time of release this year is 2.56 seconds. That's 6th best in the league. He's got to get the ball out fast for the 49ers to win this game. I like the Niners to win it. I really do. I'm going to say 49ers. I was saying 35-14, but that to me seems like it might be a little on the high side. I don't know if there's going to be as many possessions. I'm going to choke down on both sides. I'm going to say 30-7. 30-7 49ers get it done over the Cowboys. I know that seems one-sided, but I think the 49ers are going to win a lot of these individual matchups, and I'll say the 49ers get it done 30-7. All right, thanks to Mojo Fantasy for being a sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. And thanks to all you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.